Hey guys, welcome to Sopi Mix Studio Umbiamas, conectando Aruba com o mundo via vídeo podcasting. Conectar conosco, compartilhar ideias e histórias para nos inspirar e para conan abrir. Sopi Mix Studio é plataforma de podcast na Aruba. Follow-nos no Facebook, subscribe no YouTube ou na plataforma de podcast preferida. Escute o podcast preferido que hora e onde está. Sopi Mix Studio, powered by Qredits. Botou ideia? Qredits educa e prepara a para ser um empresário exitoso. De business plan, guia personal e préstamo para negócio até com 100,000 florin. Bira para mês donho com Qredits. Sopway. Passa na Sopway para o sop, salada, wrap ou flatbread e mais fresco. Com 7 localidades rond Aruba. Nós está cerca de Ibo. Sopway. Swingmasterz. Organizando events, conferences of weddings, Mr. de luz, sound, staging, DJ, trussing of flat screen, Swingmasterz está claro para ser boa fiesta um êxito. Swingmasterz. E agora, Sopi Mix Studio é plataforma de podcast de Aruba, está apresentar.
Let me adjust the music real quick. Right there, background music, yes.
Sounds nice.
Good afternoon, and good morning if you just woke up. As you can see, Bruce is not here today. Instead, we have our guest here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Tanya Cruz, and it's a pleasure and an honor to be here.
Yes. And for a brief introduction, my name is Jean-Luc Harms. Studied at the University of Aruba and had an interest in tech and games my entire life. It's been a long morning. So tell us, why is Bruce not here?
But because he is attending the conference at the Renaissance Convention Center he is a panel member and a business gathering that they have today at the Renaissance.
Oh.
It's jam-packed with people. I think they must have like 500 to 600 people there.
500 to 600 people?
Yeah, it's full.
And even I heard this. So e-commerce, right? Or did I get that wrong?
I believe it's e-commerce.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to him on the
Yes.
stage later tonight or later today,
Yeah.
right? But today we have Tanya as a special guest who is very intelligent, but
you.
not well versed in the themes of tech and especially crypto, right?
That's correct. I'm like a beginner. I'm in the kleuterklas, zoals ze zeggen.
You'll do fine. So, we're going to be talking about NFTs, right? More specifically, NFTs based on a platform called Decentraland, right?
Okay.
It's been around for a few years already, but it only got released publicly, so like public access and everything, 2 years ago, roughly, right? 2020.
Okay. Why did it? Like you said, it has been in existence for a while, but only got released 2 years ago. Was there a reason for that?
Yes. So this happens quite often with games, right?
Okay.
And to say that this is a game is not really fair, but it's like a public online 3D social platform-ish.
Okay.
Basically where you can gather online, and you just have a bunch of little avatars in a virtual world, and you can interact and buy stuff and just explore, right?
Okay.
But these things take development, right? And when you first have a platform like that, there's a lot of bugs. So a lot of issues that can happen.
Okay,
So they
bugs is
usually
like things that can
glitches and stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
like it takes forever to load. Sometimes you might buy something and then it doesn't appear. You might fall through the floor in the game or like in the platform.
Okay.
And so that is called a closed beta. That means people usually pay or are given special access in order to join the platform while it's not really public, knowing that they're going to face issues.
Okay.
But great question. So it publicly released like 2 years ago, and the last news I had was that the Barbados government bought some land within Decentraland, right? So you can pay to get access to the virtual lands, right? And it costs real money as an NFT, right? And you can do whatever you want with it. And so Barbados placed an embassy within Decentraland.
I heard that.
Yeah. So sadly, I am not proficient in the legal stuff behind that and how that works. But the idea would have been that this would be one of the first truly borderless embassies that is internationally available, right? Because all you need is internet connection and an account on Decentraland, and then you can join. It is, you don't have to pay anything. You most likely do need a Mana wallet, right? Mana is the cryptocurrency that is used within Decentraland in order to join. It is based on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay,
right?
I've heard those names. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Okay. So to make sure you understand and keep up, right? The Ethereum blockchain has a lot of different NFT projects currently going on. It's the biggest blockchain with it, right? But that also means there are a lot of different forms of coins that are running on the Ethereum. So an Ethereum-based coin, right? And so the one that Decentraland uses is called Mana, just M-A-N-A. Yeah.
Okay.
Because mana is the energy used to fuel magic, right? And so with that in mind, another good one would be Gala, right? But Gala is more for a games-based NFT. This is more of a social gathering, real estate NFT project that apparently had collaborations with other companies as well. But we can look that up later.
Okay.
But are you keeping up so far?
Step by step, I guess there must be like other people maybe that have the same questions that I do, or maybe are as lost as I am in certain ways. Yeah.
So, what do you need clarified?
Like for example, when you say that you buy the Barbados government bought an embassy, where do they put that? Where does it go? How does it go? How do they buy it? Can they sell it? Do they sell it direct? Do they have to go to an agent? How do you do all this?
So that's a great question, right? How do you get access to the land in Decentraland, right? How do you buy stuff, right? It all starts with just cryptocurrency, right? So as previously mentioned, Mana is the cryptocurrency that they use in order to run, fuel, buy, exchange, sell the goods within Decentraland, which may include little fighter jets, may include different player models, so like how you look like, may include buildings. You may pay people to make stuff for you, but most importantly, it includes literal property, land, right? And because Decentraland, the idea is that it is decentralized. There isn't a single body, right? Decentraland is even run by a non-profit organization called Decentraland, if I'm correct. Let me make sure of that, right?
Okay.
Sadly, that comes. Yeah, Decentraland Foundation and the community both constantly add and build on the Decentraland game, right? And so you just need a wallet that can host Mana inside of it. A lot of Ethereum-based wallets that support multiple types of wallets will most likely allow you, or you can buy it via exchanges, pay someone for it.
I have a question.
Tell me.
Like you're talking about decentralized land?
No, Decentraland,
Decentraland.
which is
okay.
a specific NFT 3D platform exchange.
So you can have more than one Decentraland? Or do you have one that everybody buys from, or do you have...
So it is just one like world, one
Okay.
virtual world,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Where you can exchange and buy platforms, or even like virtual land, so you can build stuff, and then people can join and visit your little build stuff, right?
Okay, but you don't have different ones that you can say, I want to buy in this
No,
one or
as
in
far
that.
as I'm aware, there are not different servers
Okay.
with different accesses.
Okay.
It's just one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
One world, let's call
One
it that way,
world.
so I can
Yes,
put
yes,
it in my
yes,
mind.
yes.
Okay.
We can go into the technical stuff where it is one world, but since it would take a lot of resources to keep one alive, you join in different instances, would be technically different servers, but it's one consistent world. You don't have multiple Arubas that you can buy from. You only have one Aruba.
Okay,
And if one spot in that Aruba is bought,
that's it.
that's it. You can pay the person. You can.
It's like
pay
if
the
I buy a house and then you come in and you want to buy my house.
Yeah, and then you
Okay.
tell me the price. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But
okay.
this is all happening in a virtual environment.
Okay.
I almost said reality, but that's a different thing, right? In a virtual environment, right? Sort of like GTA, right? Grand Theft Auto. You know about that?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
It's not that complicated. You've imagine just a CG 3D world, right? But it's run online and anyone can join.
Okay.
Except the special difference is that when you join, you also have the option to buy real estate in that world. And
Okay.
you have programmers who can code within that world to make stuff that was not originally intended. And people can pay you so that you can sell the products that you made using the code of Decentraland, right? And all of this happens with mana. To go back into your previous question, how did the government of Barbados make an embassy, right?
Mhm.
They bought mana, right?
Okay.
Via any exchange, right? Or they paid someone, right? And you have a wallet that supports mana, right?
Okay. Okay. The mana goes into the wallet.
You make an account on Decentraland, right? And then you look at what's available. They have search options to show you what land is available. And in the game as well, when you visited unowned property, it will tell you and how much it's worth, right? Prices
Okay.
going up and down, volatile market and everything, right?
Depends who buys it, where it's bought, when, etc., etc.
Yeah. And just the value of Decentraland changes the price as well, right? But they bought some property, right? And they had probably a designer, a 3D artist, make a literal embassy.
Wow.
And it's just there building a virtual building in a virtual world
Okay.
that is officially and legally supported by the government of Barbados and
That's-
owned by the government of Barbados.
That's very interesting that the government is looking into this type of technology, and that is the direction, I guess, that the world is going.
Yeah, because the question is always why? Why bother making an embassy in a virtual world, right? We are slowly blurring the lines between reality and digital, right? It is slowly getting closer and closer, right? That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, right? As someone who's been raised predominantly alongside the internet, I would like to say or see it as a good thing, right? It can be definitely exploited, but so long as we have the proper rights and protective measures, right? It will be great. We already are at a stage where if something happens in real life, it affects the digital world. And if something affects the digital world, right, it affects the
Really?
physical world,
Yeah.
right? If somebody says something on Twitter, people lose jobs, right?
Okay.
And so we are also moving towards a borderless economy, a term my father has used quite often,
I
right?
hear it a lot, yes. And
So-
we are working towards that too.
Yes, exactly. And that's already kind of happening with just credit card and PayPal and everything, right? The only difficulty is that red tape bureaucratic processes, right? Local banks, they're making it quite difficult, especially on the islands, in order to have proper borderless economy to fluidly exchange assets internationally.
Well, if you say it that way, what I can think for, is like they're losing maybe customers if they don't have a hand on it, and they're losing control.
Of course. And so what is good about crypto, right? And NFTs and all of the issues that he may have, right? At the current moment, the one thing that's amazing is that just like Decentraland, anyone can join, anyone can participate, so long you have access to the internet and probably a phone or a computer, right? Access to the internet, right?
Yeah.
And that will reinforce the borderless economy because there are no intense red tape. Do you know what red tape is?
Well, that they have certain rules.
Certain
cannot do
unnecessary,
this, you cannot do that.
complicated rules that
Yeah.
essentially stops you from doing it, right? Yeah, exactly,
And
right?
And once you have that, it's because somebody else is controlling what people are doing.
Exactly. And so I can't speak for the government of Barbados, right? I do not represent them in any way, shape, or form, right? But the logic most likely is that they need to accept the borderless economy and through that borderless legal support. And so instead of needing to go through the trouble of visiting a legal embassy in real life, which sometimes may have issues, right? Protests are going on, wars are going on, right? If there is a person in Barbados in Ukraine right now, for example, right? They could go into Decentraland and visit the embassy in there in order to find help,
Okay.
right? Since to go outside is very dangerous right now, right? It is to allow people to have unrestricted access to, more specifically in this case, to the embassy, right? And this can translate and mean into other things, right? So that's why I think they bothered, in order to be the first step, to be the example.
Like if you mentioned that, may I ask this? Let's say you say, okay, they can visit this embassy. In that case, that's also available then 24 hours. Or not, because I can go in, let's say I can go in my account, I can do this, I can do transfer, I can do this, I can pay things via the internet, via my bank, for example. I can do that 24 hours.
Yes.
So my question is, would it be like something like that, or?
There are probably automated processes, right? I have the privilege to have never needed to go to an embassy, right?
It's not always bad. But this is good.
So they probably have automated the process, right? There is an in-game browser, right, that you can go, and they probably just link to the website, and you can do it from like in there itself. And they probably have people in there as well during certain hours, but I do not expect them to pay people to be in Decentraland embassy
For
24/7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, the cool thing is it also supports virtual reality. Decentraland. So if you have a headset, right, you put it on, and you could quite literally look around in Decentraland instead of just your browser.
Okay.
Which is just a cool little thing, right? Do you understand?
I think what you're telling me, I understand, but it's like, like Fantasyland.
yeah, there have been concerts held in Decentraland, right? Total events, right? Let me look up a few examples for you, right? Yes, a specific DJ, I'm glad I remembered this, right? Called Deadmau5.
Okay. What a name.
It's way beyond your time, right? It's a infamous DJ online, right? Sort of like Avicii, but Avicii's more mainstream. This is a little bit more underground, right? Deadmau5 is very much into crypto and NFTs, and so he had a full-on concert where you could buy tickets in Decentraland. And they built an entire concert area and stage, and there were performances and models and lights and music that it was a full-on concert, except virtual.
It is way before my time, I guess. I'm trying to keep up. Believe me, I think it's pretty interesting.
What are you struggling to understand right now?
I don't know. I think I compare it with. I remember quite some years ago. Well, I guess you weren't here yet. Is, that they came out with the fax machines. Fax, you know. And I was telling a guy. I said, I think if my grandmother was alive. And you tell her, you can write a letter and you can put it in this machine. You put a number, and if your daughter in Holland has a fax, she can receive it in a few minutes.
Yes.
I mean, she wouldn't understand what was happening.
And a few minutes back then was fast.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about instant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, like moving with technology, the way things are going. And it's like a lot of times when I talked I talk with your father, it says, many years ago, a bank would have never think to have any type of internet for people to be able to do transactions or things like that, because the customer service one-on-one was what was important. How can we go do that? We need our customers to come into our banks to do this, to do that. And nowadays, if your bank
just online,
you don't have online service. I mean, you will not have customers.
You won't have customers. Yeah. Exactly.
It's moving with the time, no?
Yes.
And some things like you young
youngings these days.
Oh yeah, you young people. I mean, you move so fast, and it's like. I know people that if you show them an old phone that you used to put your finger in the number and dial, you're like, what is that?
Yeah. I've had some strange experiences with that as well.
So for me, I mean, I'm learning. I think it's important to know these things. Young people, you catch up on things much more faster. I'm pretty sure some other people also, by practicing, you learn more. But I think it's important that people are aware.
Definitely. And you know what music festivals are, Tanya, right? Okay, good. Good.
Yeah,
I'll be very shocked. There would be issues.
I've been to many concerts.
Really? Wow. I'm jealous. All right.
Yeah.
So Decentraland hosts now I'm lagging brain-wise.
Okay.
Excuse me. A festival, yes.
Okay.
Called the MetaVerse Festival.
Okay.
Right? And so Deadmau5 probably visits, right? You have a bunch of artists, right? But here's an artist I think you know, Paris Hilton. Paris Hilton performed in Decentraland.
Okay.
Think about that for a second.
I'm thinking, yeah.
You can buy virtual tickets to attend a virtual concert where real artists will go and perform. And you have all the light shows and everything. Of all the music, live performances, so they actually go and perform and sing it.
Okay.
But it's in Decentraland.
Okay.
And they probably sell digital merchandise on top of it as well. So you can buy, you will get a shirt for your character in Decentraland, right? You might be able to get a hat, most likely. And you would pay that with mana.
You got me thinking. I don't know. Okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
You'll have to show me.
I'd have to show you? I mean, we currently do not have the equipment in order to show you and the audience, right? But times are changing and some updates are bound. And maybe in the future we will be able to show the audience videos as well while showing you, right?
Okay.
But another thing that Decentraland does is basically they are the forerunners in showing how the metaverse can be used and explored, right? The metaverse in this case being just a digitized world, right? Where you can do everything in reality, but also in there. So what a lot of NFT artists like to do is those galleries.
Okay. I have
Right.
a question.
Ask.
My mind went somewhere else. How do you explain, let's say, for example, the people that do all those gamblings online? What is that? Is that completely something completely
Casinos?
different? Like they gamble, they play casinos, and they win money. Is that something that is also part of all this?
So I wouldn't. There might be casinos in Decentraland. Yeah, most likely. But I'm not necessarily aware of that, but that's not too far-fetched, right? But concerning casinos in the digital, with cryptocurrency, right? No, that's a thriving community, really, that you would buy bitcoins, right? And you would send it to your wallet that's connected to your, let's say, poker account,
Okay.
right? And then you buy chips with Bitcoin. And then you get paid in Bitcoin chips. Or well, the chips are equal to a certain amount of Bitcoin, just like in any poker, right? And you go play poker, right? And instead of in dollars, the chips are worth this many Bitcoins. Yeah.
And then you can go and cash them back out.
Yeah. And you're not dealing with any banks. You're not dealing with an actual casino, right? And it might be considered tax evasion, really. Yeah.
Okay. Depends where.
I'm not proficient in the legal stuff behind it, right? But
Okay,
most likely some people use it as tax evasion. Don't do that, kids. Right? I do not support tax evasion, right?
Yeah.
But yes, gambling and cryptocurrency is used quite often. It was one of the first things I think, in fact, that you would join online websites and play, for example, like blackjack,
Okay.
right? And you, instead of paying for dollars, you play in crypto.
Yeah, because I've seen also, let's see, that you have the like the slot machines. That they play that too.
I wouldn't know because that takes some programming, right? But they probably have a full on. Let me look it up actually for you real quick.
Not that I'm a gambler or anything, but you know,
Have-
I know that a lot of people love casinos. I have some friends that do a lot of casinos, gambling and all these things online.
Aha. Let me look it up for you. Borderless economy, borderless casino. You know.
Yeah.
Give me a quick second. Yeah. Decentraland has a collaboration with Atari.
Well,
Right.
I remember that name. Hello.
Atari. It's a very, very old gaming
Yes.
or game studio, right?
Yeah.
For example,
yeah.
Pac-Man is from Atari.
That used to be my favorite game.
Wow. But so Atari has partnered up with Decentraland and has many Atari-based attraction sites, right? And one of them is a casino,
Okay.
an Atari casino within Decentraland that you can go and visit.
Oh,
Right.
that's interesting.
And then you pay in mana, right? And then you can play, for example, blackjack with a small little bot in virtual reality in Decentraland, right? And then you gamble. But instead of you go to a real casino, you go to an Atari casino based in Decentraland.
Wow. Let me see. Where did you see that?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, look, see. Right there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, that's
Slot machines.
the casino NFTs. Yeah, that's something I personally do not want to go into. Don't gamble your money away.
Well, some people like that. Just like, you know, like in real life, some people they go and they spend on their money gambling.
This this is the entire point, right? Who would have thought Atari Casino in Decentraland, in a virtual land where you can go, you don't even leave your house or your computer. You put on a headset
And that's
and you're
it.
in a virtual reality. And then you go have a casino
Imagine.
where you lose and win real money.
Imagine that.
You play with cards with other people online as well.
Wow.
And then you can go into your virtual little car or jet, right, and fly over to your virtual little house, right?
And have a pina colada.
No, you would have it. You would need an actual pina colada for that. Yeah.
Yes.
You could then look at your ticket for the Paris Hilton little concert hosted by Decentraland in the MetaVerse festival, right?
Imagine.
That happens in 2 hours, and then you go and you can talk to people online, and while there's a live performance going on.
Wow.
This is an example of what I view on how I view the metaverse, right? It is to blur the lines between reality, between physical and digital. It is to allow you to do both in both ways with less limitations. And that's why Decentraland is so interesting, right? That's why it's so cool. It is the forerunner right now. And what allows it to be so cool is that even the community can code and program things for the game. If you look up who are the producers, the programmers, the people who work on the game, they say the Decentraland Foundation and its community. It is truly decentralized in that way. The community helps run it, right? But of course, a non-profit foundation as well, because they need to do all the legal stuff. Because how else would they get Paris Hilton to join in a virtual concert, right? But yeah, that's essentially all I can pull out currently.
That's the
And
future.
an example, right? And it can seem dystopian, right? Because the extreme would be nobody would ever leave their houses anymore, right? But if you can buy virtual property, right? What's stopping there of being a virtual Aruba, for example, right? Where if you buy land in real life, it is represented as well virtually. And if you buy land virtually, it is represented as well in real life. To have a connection, you have a cross reality connection.
I wonder what the next step will be.
It would be that connection, right? I remember hearing about there is going to be a certain brand of high-end cars that if you buy their car NFT, which would be the price of the car, you have the right to that same car. And when you buy that car in real life, you have the right to that NFT. And when they go to, when you go get it fixed, right, and serviced, your NFT file gets actually updated with what they did to your car and all the statuses of it as well.
Wow.
And it has the information that you own it, right? The license plate, most likely, right? But I think that's still in process, so don't rely on me on that. But that's essentially the next step, to tie it, to connect it together, right? Via chips or codes, QR codes.
How do you feel towards that? What do you think about all that? Well, this is your world.
Yes, so my only fear is that it just becomes just purely for profit, right? So currently we are at a stage where we are the product, right? My privacy does not exist. My digital reflection does not have as many privacy rights as I do physically, right?
Yes.
I can hide in my room. I cannot hide virtually in my virtual room because it's hosted and they know, right? So until we figure out how to give our metaverse selves it's their proper rights, right? It might become very Orwellian. I'm sure you know that term, George Orwell.
No.
No. Oh.
Go ahead.
So essentially, turn on.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Excuse me for the silence, real quick. Let me turn on the music.
I think what you say that is very important. That in real life we do have, like, say, privacy, and in, let's say, online, or if you look at Facebook and all these things, you're not
you
protected
really don't.
at all.
It's
and
it's
there's
all a facade.
nowhere you can go.
Yeah. And if it stays like that, the blurring of the digital and the physical will be horrifying, absolutely horrifying, because that blur will have them both get closer and closer. And since they know everything about us digitally,
they know already. They know,
exactly.
You say something and you talk about something, and the next day it appears on your phone.
It would blur into reality, and that would be horrifying. But I would like to believe, since the community is also aware of this, the same people who are investing into crypto are also quite aware of this privacy problem. So I'm hopeful that we will have the proper protective measures, and we can then just enjoy the fruits of those digital times.
Yeah, I hope so too, because I think in a certain way it is a little bit scary even.
It is. Change is scary, yeah.
No, not only that, but if you don't have any kind of privacy, these people, in the long run, they know more about you than you really know about yourself.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Do you have any closing remarks?
No, I think this is pretty interesting, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that knows 10,000 times more than me, but there's also a lot of people just like me that don't know that much.
Have you been able to keep up?
Little by little, yes.
Little by little? Yes. Do you understand most of the concepts that we've spoken about today?
I things, so I have to let them go again through my mind, and
alright,
most probably
alright,
I'll
alright.
be asking you 100,000 questions because I guess that's how we all learn.
All right.
And I thank you for everything you know and the way you explain. I hope that my questions were clear. For me, your answers
Yes,
were
they
pretty
were.
good.
All right.
And also, I just want to take advantage of the opportunity just to say hi to Ingrid, my friends in France, in Suriname, that are watching us today.
Very nice, very nice. I hope everybody else enjoyed this much more laid back, and explanatory intensive show. For everybody who is less experienced, I hope you kept up. For everybody who was cooking something, I hope you enjoyed your meal or that it turns out great, right? Remember, we need to start, concerning the metaverse, we need to start figuring out how to give our metaverse selves some more rights. Because the lines will be blurred, and we can't allow those lines to be, our rights to be taken away. So with that, a quick thanks to our sponsors.
Bye-bye.
No, quick thanks to,
Okay, go ahead.
Almost
go
forgot.
ahead. Yeah.
Subway, Qredits, and Swingmasterz for allowing the show to be live. Good luck to my father. Good luck to Bruce. And thank you for watching. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.